Yeah.
Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the River Road Unitarian Universalist congregation. I'm Neil Johnston, your worship associate. If this is your first time here in person, we welcome you. We hope you'll stop by the welcome table so we can get to know you and get connected. For those watching live on YouTube, please feel free to join in the chat with our online host. If you are watching this at a later date and have questions, please visit our website to learn how to connect with us. Summer Sundays are always a little different than the rest of the year. This summer we have a host of guest and lay-led services lined up. For the rest of July, we have Forgiveness and Mattering from Stephanie Maslowski on July 19, and on July 26, Christian Nationalism, Deepening Penetration into U.S. Government and Society from Ken Button. That will also be another summer fun day for children and youth to explore activities to support democracy. We'll check back in with you next week to announce August Sundays leading up to Reverend James Galazinski's first week in the pulpit as our new settled minister. Details for all our programs and upcoming events can be found on our website at rruuc.org.
One, two, 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 two. Good morning. How you feeling? All right. My name is Ofosu Jones-Quartey, and I will open with a song called Equinox. All right. Oh, that did happen, huh? Can we reconnect? Okay, let's see what happens. All right, we're back. Give ourselves permission to just be. When I'm just sitting and seeing, swimming the river of being, thirsty for knowledge, but when I dissolve, it's beyond just a literal meaning. After nirvana, the laundry, after enlightenment dishes, all that I know is there's only this moment and never a higher position. What could inspire my vision? Open my eyes and I listen. Total surprise when I'm going inside and I know what I'll find is defying description. Never dying a victim. Raising a child with my wisdom. Dream of the shore, but the feeling is raw when I look at the miles in the distance. Answering calls from the prison line. Told them to chill and just give it time. Still when you can't see your children even in the summer, it's cold as the winter time. Some of my people move packages. Beef and then speak to the mattresses. If you could see all my damages, doubt you could ever believe how I managed it. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Kneeling and noticing breaths, I feel the wind moving in and out of my chest. Silence is loudest when I think about it. I'm emptying out until nothing is left. Moments can never be broken. Sit and reflect on a quote that can never be spoken. Let it be known I'm content to be sown as the fabric on the effigies woven. Freedom is all that we are. Seeing myself, everything that I see in the stars. Sometimes I weep and I sob. Loving myself is the same as believing in God. I try to let it all go. Stay in the present within the perpetual flow. Where do we go when it's done? Into the sun? Only the heavens can know. Burning the slowest of candles. A butterfly goes when I open my hand up. A koan stillness can flow on the freedom of knowing I don't know the answer, but hell is behind us. The best we could do is just let it remind us hell is behind us. Presence and kindness ended my blindness. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out.
We begin our time together by lighting our chalice, the chosen symbol of our faith, with these words by Zen Buddhist priest, teacher, and artist, Zenju Earthlyn Manuel. May all beings be cared for and loved, be listened to, understood, and acknowledged despite different views, be accepted for who they are in this moment, be afforded patience, be allowed to live without fear of having their lives taken away or their bodies violated. May all beings be well in its broadest sense, be fed, be clothed, be treated as if their life is precious, be held in the eyes of each other as family. May all beings be appreciated, feel welcomed anywhere on the planet, be freed from acts of hatred and desperation, including war, poverty, slavery, and street crimes, live on the planet housed and protected from harm, be given what is needed to live fully, without scarcity, enjoy life living without fear of one another, be able to speak freely in a voice and mind of undeniable love. May all beings receive and share the gifts of life, be given time to rest, be still, and experience silence. May all beings be awake.
The idea for this service has been on my mind for almost 2 years, since Reverend Connie first proposed it in her first month here. As Reverend Connie noted, Buddhism is counted among the 6 sources which UU congregations affirm and promote. Here's a quote from the UUA's website. Unitarian Universalist experience with Buddhism is rich and varied. We find inspiration in stories from Buddhist traditions, Buddhist meditation practices, and contemporary teachers like Sharon Salzberg and Thich Nhat Hanh. Many congregations have Buddhist meditation groups. We have over 100 local UU Sanghas. Our opening hymn comes from the Buddhist practice of metta, or loving-kindness meditation. The words, set to music by UU minister Reverend Ian Riddell for the Blue Hymnal, have been popularized over the past 50 years by many Western Buddhist meditation teachers, most notably Sharon Salzberg, who has done more than anyone in America to bring attention to loving-kindness meditation. In the language of the Buddha, the word Vipassana is typically translated in the West as insight. Hence, the practice is called insight meditation. The Insight Meditation Society, known as IMS, was founded in 1976 in Barre, Massachusetts, by Joseph Goldstein, Sharon Salzberg, and Jack Kornfield, who had recently brought the teachings of Vipassana to America from Burma and Thailand. Roughly a decade later, they would begin building IMS's sister retreat center, Spirit Rock, in Marin County, California. Around that time, a native of New Jersey, author and doctor of clinical psychology, who was raised Unitarian, named Tara Brach, studied meditation at IMS and became a meditation teacher. In the early 1990s, Tara moved to the DC area and started a Vipassana meditation group, which met here at River Road every Wednesday evening, starting in 1995. Tara's meditation classes were known throughout the DMV and consistently attracted over 200 meditators each week. Her classes drew people to this congregation and helped RRUUC grow its membership. This lasted for 25 years until the pandemic forced us to close. Almost 30 years ago, Tara founded a nonprofit to support the growing network of teachers who learned from her and to pay rent here at River Road. This organization, the Insight Meditation Community of Washington, has grown to over 30 active teachers from Richmond to Baltimore, and ever since its inception has been in partnership with River Road. Retiring from in-person teaching in 2021, Tara also stepped back from IMCW to focus on the Mindfulness Meditation Teacher Certification Program, which she co-founded with Jack Kornfield, in order to foster the next generation of meditation teachers. I became involved with IMCW in early 2022 when I reached out to them on behalf of River Road to see about restarting the in-person meditation classes. For more than 4 years now, we have been meeting again in person in the Fireside Room at 7 p.m. every Wednesday. Instead of having one teacher, this time we have an evolving roster of teachers with a variety of different styles from the IMCW network. I encourage you to come talk to us after the service. We'll have an information table in the fellowship hall. My journey with meditation began while teaching OWL at River Road. Through conversations with Beth Irakura and my 9th grade students, I started exploring meditation as a means of helping dig myself out of my own battle with depression and anxiety. I made up my mind to start by going on a 2-week silent meditation retreat in the summer of 2018. Definitely one of the most life-changing experiences I have ever had. In the Vipassana tradition, an effective meditation practice relies on a combination of practicing regularly for short periods in our daily lives and occasional long silent retreats at retreat centers, lasting anywhere from a week to several months or more. Tara and her husband, Jonathan Faust, used to lead their community on week-long meditation retreats several times a year, usually at a quiet, secluded retreat center in Madison, Virginia, called Seven Oaks. In late February of 2020, I was on a retreat that Jonathan was leading. We were unplugged and in silence for the whole week, away from the news, and blissfully unaware that the rest of the country had just found out that they were on the verge of catastrophe. Like many businesses, Seven Oaks was hit hard by the pandemic and did not have the resources to reopen post-COVID. The owners reached out to IMCW in 2023 to see if they would be willing to purchase the retreat center. The board of IMCW made the decision to go for it, and a good friend who knew of my interest in retreat centers and promoting meditation and mindfulness reached out to me to see if I could help. That led me to joining the board of IMCW and dedicating myself to the task of raising capital for Seven Oaks. Seven Oaks has been back in operation for 2 years now, hosting many retreats organized by IMCW and other similar organizations. Our first priority is to raise around $1.5 million to pay off the mortgage and be self-sustaining. Additionally, we just launched an urgent campaign after a large bolt of lightning struck one of the original lodging buildings and fried a large part of it. Thankfully, no one was in it at the time. This became an opportunity in the course of necessary renovations to lean into one of our guiding principles and focus on accessibility for disabled patrons. Many of us have fond memories of the charming and rustic existing buildings that date to the 1970s, but no amount of renovation will make them compliant with the safety, accessibility, and sustainability standards we are aiming to meet. After emergency short-term renovations and regaining financial security, our goal is to raise roughly $25 million to build our new campus. This reimagined Seven Oaks will have the capacity for 120 residential retreatants and serve the Mid-Atlantic region as a companion center to IMS and Spirit Rock. Since Tara's retirement, she and her husband Jonathan are planning to move out west to be closer to her grandkids. We wish them all the best as we now embark on a nationwide executive search to recruit and hire a new guiding teacher who will be our permanent executive director. Our search feels reminiscent of the process our RRUUC is just now completing, bidding farewell to a long-time, well-loved guiding force and exploring an exciting new chapter as we turn 30. Our chalice lighting words today are from the poet, author, ordained Zen priest, and medicine woman of the drum, Osho Zenju Earthlyn Manuel of the San Francisco Zen Center. I first heard these words during a retreat at Seven Oaks this spring from our teacher, Devin Berry, who also hails from San Francisco and teaches at IMS and Spirit Rock. It's much like the metta prayer in our opening hymn. And in this one, I recognized all of the values that we at our RRUUC espouse. Fittingly, Zenju is also the current guiding teacher of today's guest, Ofosu Jones-Quartey, a longtime IMCW teacher, author, and hip-hop artist who performs under the stage name Born I. As a meditation teacher, Ofosu can be found here at the monthly IMCW Family Sangha, having been recruited by longtime River Roader and fellow IMCW teacher Carl Skoglund, and as one of the 4 teachers for our Wednesday evening class. Ofosu frequently teaches retreats at Seven Oaks, including the annual family retreat, and his hip-hop sound bath weekends in the spring and fall. He also teaches retreats at Spirit Rock, the Omega Institute, and several other retreat centers, most often with youth groups. As a hip-hop artist, Born I has 4 albums available on all the major streaming platforms. Komorebi, his latest album, was released 1 year ago. He performed it here at River Road last September. He can be seen at Red Rocks in Colorado, the Anthem here in DC, and too many other venues to mention. As an author, in 2022, he published the children's book, Love Your Amazing Self. And in 2025, Lyrical Dharma, subtitled Hip Hop is Mindfulness, a masterwork of poetry deeply rooted in Buddhism and family. The famed author Alice Walker, in the foreword she wrote for this book, began, "It is hard to express how important I feel this book is." Ofosu is also the male voice of the guided meditations on the Balance app. He frequently appears on podcasts such as Well Balanced and 10% Happier with Dan Harris. And I could keep going, but instead I will let the man himself take it away.
we back? Yes. Thank you so much, Neil. If I wasn't so brown, I would blush. Let's make sure we're back connected. Yeah, okay. This next song I'd like to share is called Silent Illumination, and after Silent Illumination, we can do a short meditation. How's that sound? All right. Okay.
Shariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. Form itself is emptiness. Emptiness itself, form. Sensations, perceptions, formations, and consciousness are also like this.
Breath is love and love is all, softer than the breeze that turns the summer into fall. Form is emptiness and emptiness is form. I'm breathing in a quiet place where memories are born, sitting hours long in poses, plus the power of enforcers. Turn me from an ogre to a flower garden stroller. Komorebi photographer holding heavy binoculars. Each falling leaf is a slow and steady provocateur. Perpetual evaporation, no matter how you move the decimals or calculations. The mystery reinvents, pray I'm a great-grandfather when my breathing relents. 'Cause finally I want to live, romanticizing death, a luxury of kids. Amitabha, Avalokiteshvara, my son and daughters, fathered by a foolish man to prove destiny in nirvana. Blessings can now befall us, devils could only stall us. We adopt the mind of Joseph when heaven's messengers call us. 7 steps in the garden, sending flesh to piranhas. A bodhisattva holding a treasure chest for the farmers. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, Dharma, Sangha, and Buddha, me and Ayana like Moggallana and Sariputra, a liturgical reference if ever you read the suttas Allen Iverson provides if you ever need a computer. Sipping Sapporo, the relevance is Dali, Salvatore Mundi, Lamas is in the lobby, promises often haunt me, my common sense was Atari, the levels built with my Akis was my eventual sorries. But why apologize for living? My teacher told me only I could compromise my sitting. Thank you, God, for this moment. I know it could be worse with even harder components. I invited Ka's spirit to enter me, to be a conduit, an expression of legacy. Time keeps turning, the mind keeps yearning. Fire sermon said that everything my eyes see burning, returning to the source between the rhythm of my thoughts. Even in the deepest silence, know the rhythm isn't lost. Little did I know what losing innocence would cost, the obstacles that I would come to witness through the course. Take a breath. Take a breath. Meditation at the tree of resilience. The hollow trunk reveals the burns I can feel in my feelings. Hard to distinguish from the fires I can feel while I'm kneeling. Hard to extinguish the visions I can see when I'm healing. I'm being enough as I spy the sublime. Walking the mountains, dancing with the sunlight through the pines. Time after time, broken hearted, the life of my dime. Spiraling chimes punctuated my life full of crimes. I'm being enough as I learn and unfold. The words I compose fly away as a murder of crows. Soon as the moment good and evil converge in my soul, a new awakening begins to emerge and unfold. This is Shikantaza, sit and breathe and leave the peace to mama. Some repeat the horror, some go deep and then complete the saga. Breath. Take a breath. Some go deep and then complete the saga.
Shariputra. All things are marked by emptiness. They neither arise nor cease, are neither defiled nor pure, neither increase nor decrease. This perfect wisdom carries us from the banks of suffering to the shores of liberation.
So as the music fades, I invite you to find a comfortable posture. You're welcome to have your eyes open or your eyes closed. We'll do a short meditation to help us continue to arrive and to offer some kindness to ourselves. So one of the ways that we can help ourselves to return or arrive or abide in this present moment is just to notice the ways in which we are supported right now by so many different cosmic and microcosmic forces. So for us to just be sitting here right now, it requires the collaboration between the earth and the sun, between the earth, sun, and space, between our bodies and gravity, between all the systems within our bodies, all of the chemicals and living and mineral activity happening on the planet Earth, our lungs in collaboration with all the trees and plant life and all life, the different systems of the body, nervous and circulatory, muscular, skeletal, so many different grand and small forces and energies overlapping and intersecting to give us just this next breath. And the feeling of the earth beneath our feet, our body making contact with our seat, the sounds happening around us. So we can really rest in the miracle of this moment. And not only are we supported by all of these different forces and energies and systems, but we participate in it and support all life and the whole universe in our own small way. So in this moment, this being is enough. You are enough. We are enough. I invite you to take a moment and just check in with yourself and notice how you feel. How you're feeling in your mind, in your heart, in your body. The same way that you might check on a dear friend or a loved one, a pet or a small child. And accepting how you are in this moment without judgment. And based on how you're feeling in this moment, Imagine that a best friend or someone you care for deeply, if they were feeling exactly how you're feeling right now, think of what you might say to them. Or think of what you might do for them, or how you might be with them. And you can offer yourself those same words of acknowledgement, of love, kindness, celebration, or comfort. Maybe there are no words, and maybe there's a gesture, a hand on the heart, a squeeze of the shoulder, a rubbing of the hand. Maybe it's just bringing forward a kind presence. And take a moment and just offer yourself your own friendliness, the gift of your own friendship. And if it doesn't feel easy to do that, it's okay. Just being willing is enough. Let's take a few moments just to let ourselves be. To rest in the miracle of this moment, the miracle of breathing and being on the earth together, supported by so many different things, supported by each other. A minute or so of silence to just be. As we begin to bring our meditation to a close, perhaps we can share some of the good energy we've given ourselves, the kindness that we've offered ourselves, or the willingness to be kind to ourselves. Imagine on your next few out-breaths, sharing some of this kindness or willingness with the people around you, and sending it to whoever may need it, sharing this kindness with all beings everywhere. I'll close with a very short song that was written by my friend Betsy Rose and Thich Nhat Hanh. I have arrived, I am at home, in the here and in the now. I have arrived. I am at home in the here and in the now. I am solid. I am free. I am solid. I am free. In the ultimate I dwell. In the ultimate I dwell. Thank you.
Our Extend the Offering partner for the month of July is Open City Advocates. Open City Advocates has spent the last 21 years representing youth in DC's juvenile justice system, ensuring that they are treated fairly and get the services and support they need to return to their families and community. To speak to you about this wonderful organization, I'm pleased to introduce Becky Troth, RRUUC member and board member, Maria Nagorski, RRUUC member and board member, and Kyla Woods, Associate Director of Policy and Outreach.
We did not coordinate our outfits. Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to be here to tell you about the incredible work of Open City Advocates and the work they've been doing for more than, oh, sorry. Should I start over? Good morning. So happy to be here to tell you about the incredibly important work of Open City Advocates, the work to protect DC's youth caught in DC's juvenile justice system. My colleagues here will provide a fuller picture of our work, but I will say generally that it is just horrifying that the capital of the free world cannot treat its youth fairly and with compassion and insight. Simply incarcerating them ensures that they will end up in the adult system. So let me introduce our fellow River Roader and member of Open City Advocates Board since 2012, Maria Nagorski. Her resume is posted on our website at opencityadvocates.org. So I'll just give you a sense of how lucky Open City Advocates is to have her join our cause. Maria has more than 30 years of experience in community development, youth programs, social justice, and advocacy. Until 2013, Maria was the executive director of Fair Chance, a DC-based organization dedicated to strengthening nonprofits serving youth living in poverty. Before Fair Chance, Maria was the founding executive director of the Center for Youth as Resources and deputy director of the National Crime Prevention Council. Maria worked internationally with the Peace Corps, the UN World Food Program, and the International Youth Foundation in Poland. She was a member of President Obama's Advisory Council on Faith-Based and Neighborhood Partnerships and is a member of Leadership Greater Washington. Please welcome Maria.
Thank you. Thank you, Becky. That was a long intro.
Sorry.
No, it was nice.
It would have been longer if I'd said everything.
Yeah, right. So, good morning, everybody. It's nice to be on this side and looking over here. It's kind of fun to see everybody. So, I'm here to introduce the amazing Kyla Woods, who is the Associate Director of Policy and Outreach at Open City Advocates. She was formerly an active, engaged board member with us, and we really miss her voice on the board, but we're delighted to have her as a full-time staff person instead. She's a fierce and amazing advocate for youth and social justice. She has worked as a youth justice policy always demands equity for those systemically disenfranchised. Kyla holds a master's degree of policy management from Georgetown University and has over a decade of experience as a community organizer. She's developed both legislation and programming to prevent and respond to commercial sexual exploitation of children, mental health access, juvenile justice, and housing disparities. She describes herself as a social justice policy nerd, and her energy and commitment make her a joy to be around. So I'm happy to present to you Kyla, who will tell us more about Open City Advocates.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much, Becky and Maria, and I miss y'all too. This was such a nice opportunity, and I was like, oh, Becky's going to be there? Yes. Maria's going to be there? Yes. So it's so nice to meet all of you. As they shared, my name is Kyla Woods, and what's most exciting about Open City Advocates from my perspective is I've gotten a chance before joining the team. I'm new to the role as the Associate Director of Policy and Outreach, but I've gotten to work with them since 2019. And so although there's been 21 years of fierce legal defense work that Open City Advocates is doing, there's also a newer investment that really started, the seeds were planted in around 2022, and kind of imagining what it would look like for Open City Advocates to expand our systemic reform efforts. It's one thing to be in the courtroom, litigating, working with a young person, being there, the person that is out of a larger system that's telling them all of the things that are wrong with them, getting to be that point person. And Penelope and Whitney, we have our amazing team of attorneys have really worked hard to think about what are the protective factors in their approach to lawyering, because mentoring is at the root. Open City Advocates started as Mentoring Today and began working with young people going beyond their legal representation. And so, in thinking about these larger systems that young people are interacting with, as a part of our reentry efforts, what would it look like to make sure that advocacy is added as a protective factor? When I say protective factors, I'm talking about, like, think about a wheel of things people need. So we need food, we need a safe place to go, we need supportive adults in our lives, right? But rectifying with the systems that you've navigated, what those messages have said about who you are, who you can be, who you will become, is something that Open City Advocates is really excited, and I'm really excited in my role to be intentional about how we are supporting as you all know, living in DC, there's so many silos, and one silo that a young person who has been committed is really baked into is this silo of shame and a lack of community. Schools are hesitant to bring you back. You're mending family relationships. You also may be a little apprehensive about conflict you have with your peers. And so Open City Advocates is investing in systemic reform, leadership building, but really helping young people release the shame that comes with some of, like, our worst moments, and have it interrogated a little bit more. How did I get here? What would I want my peers to know? What do I think adults and people responsible for creating some of the resources that young people are given, what do they need to know about what it looks like to walk through those doors? So I'm excited to answer, any questions. I'll definitely stick around, but I think that there is something really unique and special about the young people that we work with. They've been through a lot, but I'm telling you, they are artists. They love to cook, they love to dance and sing and all of these things, and unfortunately get pushed down and shoved to the side when you're navigating a legal case, you're navigating not having this space to think about who you want to be. And so we're really, really excited to expand those efforts. But I think I'm tempted to go into a long diatribe, so I'm going to pause for a moment. But I would love to answer any questions about our work. Our attorneys are handling caseloads that I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, like that's a lot. But it's only when we think about the young people in DC who even are given access to what's called post-dispo representation, there's about 50% of young people who aren't getting it at all, even though they have the right to it in DC. So there's so much work to do. But I'm just grateful for you all, really grateful for that meditation. I needed it. But I would love to speak more with anyone who has any questions, ideas, ways that as we think about systemic reform, we can build in leadership and opportunities for young people to see themselves as more than some really hard moments in their lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyla and Maria. And we will be in the lounge where we'll also be showing a video that my son did as a birthday present for me on the 20th anniversary of Open City Advocates. So that gives you more background on the organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyla, Becky, and Maria. In support of our congregation and the community beyond, the morning offering will be gratefully received. We do so mindful of the fact that we draw water from wells we did not dig and pick fruit from trees we did not plant. This is as it should be, so long as we dig and plant for those who come after. If this is your first time visiting, please feel free to let the plate pass you by. Your presence is your gift to us. To learn more about why we give of our financial treasure, you can check out our website at rruuc.org. There you can find information on our vibrant programs and all the ways to connect to the mission and vision of this community. You can also give right there on the main page by clicking the blue Give Online button. You can also text to give. The text to give number is 73256. So text RRUUC and the amount you'd like to give to the number 73256. You'll receive a link to complete your donation. As a reminder, each month's Extend the Offering organization will receive 50% of all donations made to the Sunday offering during its assigned month, including online, text, and mailed gifts. This month's organization, who we just heard from, is Open City Advocates. Thank you for sharing your time, your talents, and your treasure.
Look at yourself in this moment. Ask yourself, how do you feel? All that you have is this moment. That's the only thing that's real. Look at yourself in this moment. Ask yourself, how do you feel? All that you have is this moment. That's the only thing that's real. I try to focus excitement, sit in the lotus alignment. The truth is that I want to know what's inside. Buddha said you'll never know till you try it. I sit in silence and steady my breathing. Try to see something I've never believed in. I want to know every part of my soul, how it develops and how it unfolds. All these emotions lock me in a prison. Soon as I notice they're gone in an instant. Knock, knock, who's there when the door swings? Robin Hood with an arrow in the boar strings. Look for the light at the end of the tunnel. All of the ways I defended my struggle. I am the child, I am the parent, I am illusion, I am awareness. I am the pain that I didn't take care of that turned into all of the things that I'm scared of. What do I notice is none of it lasts. Same as the lightning and thunder that crash. All of the thoughts and the feelings and fears stay for a moment and then disappear. Everything in me is naturally free. All that's required is I let it be. I am the sun, I am the storm. They call me infinite when I was born. I am enough is the mantra repeated for all of the love and compassion that's needed. Yes, I might fall again, but then I'll rise again, sitting cross-legged, closing my eyes again. And closing my eyes again, look at yourself in this moment. Ask yourself, how do you feel? All that you have is this moment. That's the only thing that's real. Look at yourself in this moment. Ask yourself, how do you feel? All that you have is this moment. That's the only thing that's real. Love is patience, love is grace, and both of these are understatements. Be the mountain, be the ocean, be forgiveness, be devotion. Concentration, then distraction, slowly learning self-compassion. When you feel it's getting scary, just remember it's temporary. First it's coming, then it's going. Everything is forever flowing. Trust awareness, that's your knowing that there's no coming or no going. Interbeing, interweaving, spring, summer, fall, winter speaking, staying present, then distracted, then returning. This is practice. Visits by the demon, sit and watch your breathing. Soon as you can see him, that's when he'll be leaving. Open your awareness, let your body settle. When you learn to let go, thoughts are just an echo. Let go of the struggle and the striving. Life is all around you, try to rest inside it. Searching, you won't find it. When you recognize it, God is like the sun and you are what the light is. So be the mother, be the dad, be the friend you never had. Be the sun, be the earth, be the death, be the birth. See the past, see the future, be the present, be the Buddha. And when you start to get distracted, just come back again. This is practice. I lie awake, a quiet place, see the eyes behind the face, close the door behind the gate. My teacher said, no time to wait. Ancient trees, painted breeze, the simple pattern of ginkgo leaves. I pray for love, I pray for peace, pray for change, wait and see. Autumn nights, shooting stars, quiet dawn, who is God? Through the heart, do my part, the turning of the wheel of Buddhist art. Sit and listen, inner visions, intuition, intermissions, then returning, then releasing. This is practice, keep repeating.
This is our practice, to return to the present moment again and again with an open mind and an open heart.
Thank you. Hey, Neil, how are we doing on time? Are we like on time? Are we off time? Should I adjust?
Where you use, we're a little behind schedule.
Okay.
It's all good.
Nice. Okay, that's cool. That it just gives me a little framing. Okay. Hi. It's so nice to be here with y'all, and I think what I would like to share this morning is, what I'm pretty fond of sharing, generally speaking, is that it's just not easy to be a person. In my experience, it can be pretty challenging. Anybody else ever have experienced the challenges of being a person? Okay. So nobody's alone. It's very difficult sometimes to just be a human being. And that's nobody's fault, really. It's nobody's individual fault, at least. Oh, did I go? Oh, am I back? Yes. Okay. So being up here with y'all today, there's what I really wanted to do. I wanted to do like the good teacher, good guest, good Buddhist, good artist thing, and just like send a lot of loving kindness y'all's way. We had the song, all that stuff. So I was like, okay, good. I'll sit up here and I'll just beam big loving kindness to everybody here, and then like. Inside, it was like, man, we got nothing. Like, hey, what's going on? I thought we were supposed to be filled with loving kindness. But what I really had was some anxiety and just maybe a little fear, and just wondering, like, am I going to do okay? Am I okay? All those kind of doubtful thoughts. But what I am really appreciative of in my own practice is that even when those moments of, especially when I want to be my best, when I want to send loving kindness to everybody, when I'm really wanting to give the best that I can give, but I find that there's not much there, I can give it to myself. That's usually the indication, like, oh, you know what? You just need to give some loving kindness to yourself right now, and then you might be resourced enough to share it with others. So while I was sitting up there, I think probably during the chalice lighting, I just started speaking to myself with the voice of the friend that I've been cultivating on the inside. Usually what this voice says to me is like, it's okay, buddy. It's usually just that. It's usually some variation of, oh, yeah. Or it will acknowledge how I'm feeling. So it's like, oh, you're feeling a little anxious, you're feeling, and you're just kind of wondering if you are gonna do okay, if you are okay. Yeah, but it's okay, buddy, it's okay. And it's almost like I just put my own heart's hand wherever I'm feeling anxious inside. So sometimes I experience that anxiety like right in the center of my chest. And then I'll just like imagine just laying a gentle hand on that anxiety. Like I don't have to do anything with it. I don't have to push it away, but just to be with it, just to be with myself in a kind way. And I feel like there was so much time in my life where I wasn't relating to myself in that way, where I wasn't resourcing myself or taking care of my own heart or taking care of my... How many of us ever feel like we're running on empty, but we'll just push through anyway and just do the thing? Is that a... Yeah, okay, well, we don't have to do that. So, like, there's... if we ever are feeling like I'm running on empty, I don't have it, it's no failing to take time and just care for yourself. You're here too, so, and all of this is a big mystery, at least to me. Like, I don't know what's going on. Does anybody know what's going on? It's like, can anybody tell you definitively what's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not only is it challenging to be a person, it is completely bizarre. And then it keeps changing. Is it the same as it was when you were a kid? Is it the same as it was yesterday? It's just, and so we sometimes, are very hard on ourselves, like, oh, I should have this figured out. Or one day when I get this, I will have it figured out. And then we get the thing, and it's just like, well, everything has changed. So, like, well, now I got to figure it out all over again. And we can feel discouraged. Or no matter how much preparation we do, when we finally arrive at the moment, we're not sure of ourselves. And then there's this second arrow, as we call in Buddhism, where even though we might be, our feelings are sometimes, most of the time, we're not even in control of our emotions. But then we may relate to ourselves in a way that is pretty unkind, or that assumes that we should know how to do it. I find that in the context of just being alive and being in this great mystery of being alive, that what has helped me get through moments where I'm feeling anxious or unsure of myself, or moments where, I live with a mental health condition called obsessive compulsive disorder, or OCD, and it is no fun. Somebody one day, sometimes people like to romanticize mental health conditions, and somebody was like, oh yeah, don't pathologize your gifts. And I was like, bro, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now, bro. Like, this is not a gift. I mean, maybe it's a gift in some existential way. Maybe this is a gift, but this sucks, dude. So, like, please don't tell me, like, I'm happy to pathologize this. Because it took me a long time. So I take medication to help me, manage my condition, manage my symptoms. But the way that my condition expresses itself is in a lot of intrusive thoughts and a lot of fear and anxiety and shame around negative thoughts. And so, I know that I'm not alone in having a loud, sometimes very loud, negative voice in your mind. Anybody else ever experienced that? Yeah. Well, it sucks. And but what I learned, I guess one gift of having this condition was learning that, well, if I've got a voice in my head anyway, could it be kinder? Could I cultivate a voice that's a little bit more friendly? What would I say to a friend who was feeling how I'm feeling right now? And so that inquiry, like, well, what would I say to a friend? What would I do for a friend? Well, I wouldn't say to a friend, you should be ashamed of your mental health. You didn't choose how your mind was going to be constructed. You're living with a condition. So I wouldn't shame my friend, and I would tell my friend, you should probably just do everything you can to take care of yourself and to help yourself feel as human and as happy as possible. And so that kind of inner encouragement that I have been working on for some time, led me to taking more care of myself. And I'm having a much better time just being a person as a result of it. So, the message that I'm always interested in sharing is one of self-compassion. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. Do you want a microphone? Hold on. Yeah. 1, 2, oh.
I was just asking Ofosu, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
If this was to be an interactive conversation, because I don't know if there's a word for destiny in Buddhism, but I think destiny brought me here today. I'm going to offer you and Neil an opportunity to make a very big impact and help me save 27 doomed, beautiful Native American hornbeam trees. And it's a long story about everyone's going to know why are they being destroyed. It's a long story, and I don't want to go into it now, but I need your help in the next 2 days to possibly do a Buddhist memorial lament before these trees, to try to keep these trees from being cut down. So I would like to talk to you and Neil after the service about this opportunity.
Okay. Happy to chat with you
Thank
about
you.
it. Where?
In Rockville.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, Rockville's doable. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm happy. Okay. All right. Well, I'm around, so let's figure it out. Oh, so what I'm saying in a nutshell is it's not easy to be a person. Be nice to yourself. That's basically like what all my whole song and dance is about, is just to encourage you to not take more responsibility than is necessary. Because each one of us are wearing the minds and hearts and bodies of our ancestors, right? And so our ancestors, they had a much smaller margin of error, and so we may be carrying their anxiety, we may be carrying their fears, we may be carrying their physical conditions, their health conditions, emotional conditions, but we have an opportunity to not only heal ourselves or to just offer ourselves some gentleness, some friendliness, some friendship. But when we do that, we also offer it to all the ancestors that live within our bodies and our hearts and our minds. Those ancestors go all the way back to the beginning of time. And so that the opportunity for generational healing begins with each one of us. And to that point, each one of us is a doorway to the entire universe. And a person is not just one thing. A person is a combination of all things. So when we offer ourselves kindness, when we develop this kinder inner voice or this friendlier way of relating to ourselves, we offer it not only to ourselves, but to all beings everywhere, to the trees, to our ancestors, to those who are living now, to those who will come after us, and again, to all who've come before us. So it's not selfish to take a moment and just offer yourself some kindness or some grace or some forgiveness. So maybe there's something right now that you might be being extra hard on yourself for, that you might want to examine and think, would I be hard on my friend about this? Would I be hard on a child about this? Would I be hard on anybody else about this? Is there space for forgiveness? Is there space for ease? Is there space for grace? Is there space for care, a walk, hydration, food, whatever loving thing you can offer yourself? We don't take care of ourselves in the spirit of selfishness, but we actually can do this in the spirit of service. In order for me to pull it together and hopefully share something meaningful, the first thing I had to do was tell myself, it's okay, buddy. I love you. I'm here. Everything's going to be okay. The first thing I had to do was just reassure myself. And I think that's the gift that this practice can offer us. So we did it during the guided meditation, and I just want to leave it with you again. Any moment throughout the day, You can take a moment and just notice how you feel, how you're doing in your mind, in your heart, in your body, and consider what you might say to a friend or a loved one who was feeling the same way. And just offer those same words to yourself. Offer those words of congratulations or kindness, those words of forgiveness or care or gratitude. And if there aren't any words, maybe there's a gesture, maybe there's an activity, or maybe it's just bringing your heart forward for yourself. And you may find that your next interaction with the next person is a little bit more peaceful, or that you have more spaciousness, or that you have more to give, you're more resourced. This practice has helped me to stay alive. It's helped me to be a better father and partner. And so I encourage you to just be a little bit more kind to yourself as we navigate the ever-changing conditions of the great mystery of being alive. Thank you. Oh, what else am I doing? Oh, okay. So, okay. Ooh, nice. Hey, we're not. I think Neil. We're doing okay. Time-wise, are we doing okay? Are we okay? Nice. Okay. So the songs that I've been sharing with you are from my most recent album, Komorebi. I have a few copies of this album. I just discovered, I thought I was all sold out of my vinyl records, but I just discovered I had a little bit more. So if you'd like to hang out or say hi in the fellowship room, yeah, I have some copies of my book and my album and some tea and stuff like that. So come say hi, and I'm happy to sign the vinyl or the book or just say hello. This song is called Being Enough. You may have been hearing other voices on some of these tracks, and they are the voices of my family. And this song has my mom's voice on it at the end. So I hope you enjoy. It's like being in love, walking with my feet in the dust till I'm reaching above. When they feel the healing of love, what do demons become? I'm believing in love, where my peoples is from. I feel like being enough is like being in love. When I'm feeling as free as a dove, is my freedom enough? Could it be that believing in love is the meaning of love? Where my peoples is from, all that we could become. Praying with my knees in the dust till my knees full of blood. Praying I could expand it, broadcast it, and deepen my love. I've retreated from love, hit the streets with my thugs, finding Jesus in love. Buddha's breathing is love. Zazen, sitting still in the evening is love. The flowing breeze blowing team off the steam in my cup. What you thinking on, cuz? What we need to discuss. I know grieving is tough. I've been dreaming of love. I feel like being enough is like being in love. Legacies of what colonial Europeans corrupt. Trauma that became the music, fashion, and people we love. Trauma that became the code of honor where secrets are dug. I feel like being enough is like being in love. I know that feeling when you question your reason for love. I know the feeling when you finally meeting the plug. And now you helping all your people but feeling corrupt. You insulated from them when all they needed was love. So all the sweating and the tears didn't equal the blood. I've retreated from love, hit the streets with my thugs, finding Jesus in love. Buddha's breathing is love. The moon reflected off the water this evening is love. Ayana, I will love you until there's seas on the sun. My children, I will love you until infinity's done. The chances I survived my youth was 1,000,000 to 1. I feel like being enough is like being in love. Poetry that I breathe in my lungs become speaking on tongues, completed on drums, repeated. You see it gets deeper for seasons to come. From evening to sun, from Neo to one. What we have accomplished with love and knowledge is really not frequently done. Being enough, freedom and love. Knowing there isn't any difference between me and love. No separation in between you and me is enough. To believe in this love, to be free in this love. Maybe enlightenment's as simple as being enough. Maybe enlightenment's as simple as being enough. Maybe enlightenment's as simple as being enough.
My dearest son, this is your mother. To me, Being enough means being true to who you are. Who you are is part of everything. Your parents, your ancestors, your children, your friends, your art. Even the parts of you that are challenging. Being at peace with who you are and giving of yourself is the embodiment of being enough. I love you dearly, my son. You are enough.
Thank you so much.
Our Unitarian Universalist principles and values call us to live our values aloud, not alone, and encourages us to be open-minded, open-hearted, spiritual communities, helping people lead lives of justice, love, learning, and hope. Here are some ways you can live your values in the coming weeks. Our next UU 101 class will be held via Zoom over 3 Friday evenings, beginning July 17th. Whether you are new to Unitarian Universalism, new to River Road, or simply interested in sharing your story while learning more about UU history, theology, and practice, this course is for you. Registration is now open in Realm. Email membership@rruuc.org if you have any questions. And save the date for this month's public witness for Black Lives, Friday, July 24th, 6 to 7 p.m. And if anybody wants to continue the conversation, you have questions for Ofosu or for me, want to check out any of his merch, books, etc., will be in the fellowship hall. Thank you.
We close our time of worship by extinguishing our chalice and reciting aloud together these words by Elizabeth Sell Jones. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
All right, and I guess I'll. Can you hear me? Okay. I'll close with a short dedication. May, by the merit of our good intentions and our presence and our fellowship together, may all beings everywhere, in all times, in all places, be free from suffering. May there be support for those who are suffering deeply now, and may there be awakening for those who are causing suffering. And may all beings recognize their innate liberation. Thank you.